On my record. There's always peace and love. There's always a break in the clouds. There's always light coming in.
From the gritty streets of Dingle, Liverpool, Richard Starkey, better known as Ringo Starr, was born into a life of hardship. But little did the world know, this determined young boy would grow up to become the heartbeat of the most iconic band in history, the Beatles. Ringo's journey isn't just about fame and fortune. It's about resilience in the face of illness, loss, and struggle. Behind the drums and infectious smile, Ringo's story is one of transformation, showing that even the most unlikely heroes can change the world. Early life, struggles, and resilience. Ringo's early life in Liverpool was far from easy. His parents, Richard Starkey Sr. and Elsie Glee, initially lived a vibrant life filled with music, socialising, and ballroom dancing. However, the birth of Ringo dramatically shifted the family dynamics. His mother, fiercely protective of her son, became more isolated, while his father withdrew into a life of heavy drinking, often spending more time in pubs than at home. This lack of familial stability culminated in the couple's divorce in 1944, when Ringo was just 4 years old. Left to navigate life with only his mother, Ringo's childhood took an even more painful turn when he fell seriously ill at the age of 6. What should have been a routine appendectomy turned into a medical nightmare. Ringo developed peritonitis, an infection in his abdomen that required a lengthy and difficult recovery. He spent over a year in the hospital, where he faced isolation and was distanced from his family, which left him struggling emotionally and academically when he finally returned home. While Ringo's health battles kept him distanced from formal schooling, they provided him with the opportunity to delve deeper into music. It was a challenging period in his life, but one that would ultimately shape the resilience and determination that became hallmarks of his character. Upon his return home, Ringo was no longer interested in returning to school. He had fallen in love with the rhythm of life, as well as the music that could express his innermost feelings. A passion for music amidst a tough childhood. By his teenage years, Ringo's world was a stark contrast to the colourful musical vibrancy of his early childhood. Liverpool, in the 1950s, was a city struggling under the weight of post-war poverty. The neighbourhoods were filled with crumbling homes, narrow streets, and social unrest. But despite the bleakness of his surroundings, Ringo's passion for music grew stronger. His mother remarried to Harry Graves, a man who played an important role in Ringo's life. Harry introduced Ringo to big band music, giving him a deeper appreciation for rhythm and jazz. This exposure to a wider range of musical styles expanded Ringo's vision and set him on a path that would ultimately lead the world of rock and roll. Ringo's stepfather, Harry, was a steady influence in his life, providing emotional stability after a period of hardship. It was during this time that Ringo began honing his drumming skills and developing an understanding of the value of discipline. However, his youth was still marred by hardships. He worked various jobs to help make ends meet, from working as a railway worker to waiting tables. None of these jobs brought him the fulfillment he sought. His passion for rhythm and music was all-consuming, and nothing else could compare. The year 1957 marked a pivotal moment in Ringo's journey. His stepfather Harry gifted him his very first drum kit, a second-hand set consisting of a snare drum, bass drum, and a cymbal made from a bin lid. Although rudimentary, the kit marked a turning point for Ringo. His skills developed quickly, and he soon became a key player in the Eddie Clayton Band. This success, however, was just the beginning of Ringo's rise to prominence. From local bands to international fame. In the late 1950s, as the world of rock and roll began to sweep across the UK, Ringo's journey took another crucial turn. After performing with Eddie Clayton's band, he joined Al Caldwell's Texans, a band eager to transition from skiffle music to full-fledged rock and roll. This decision proved to be the right one, as it eventually led him to one of the defining moments of his early career. In 1960, after some turmoil and multiple band name changes, Ringo became a permanent member of Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. The band was gaining recognition in Liverpool, and its gigs were becoming more frequent and prestigious. They had even secured a 3-month residency at a Butlins holiday camp, where Ringo played for vacationers and tourists. It was a crucial moment in his career, giving him the chance to refine his skills in front of live audiences and work alongside some of the best musicians in the region. But the most significant opportunity for Ringo came on October 1st, 1960, when Rory Storm and the Hurricanes performed at the Kaiser Keller Club in Hamburg, Germany. The Beatles were also playing at the club, and Ringo, initially a member of the Hurricanes, first met John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison. The two groups quickly struck up a friendly camaraderie, with Ringo occasionally sitting in with the Beatles during their performances. This camaraderie would ultimately lead to a collaboration between the two bands. The Beatles, the world's most iconic band. By August 1962, Ringo had officially become a permanent member of the Beatles, replacing the band's previous drummer, Pete Best. The Beatles were at the dawn of their meteoric rise to fame, but Ringo's contribution to the band would prove invaluable. With his steady, reliable drumming, he helped propel the Beatles' sound to new heights. Ringo wasn't just the drummer, he was the heartbeat of the band, the silent yet ever-present force that kept the rhythm and allowed the music to flow. Despite the internal struggles and occasional conflicts within the band, Ringo remained the glue that kept the Beatles together. His ability to remain level-headed in times of tension, his good-natured humour, and his unshakable friendship with the other three members made him the heart of the band, in more ways than one. However, as the years passed, the stresses of fame, creative differences, and external pressures began to take their toll on the Beatles. By 1969, cracks in the band's foundation were becoming more evident. Yet, as much as the world speculated about what caused the split of the most successful rock band in history, Ringo's silence on the matter persisted. Yoko Ono. A new revelation. For decades, the role of Yoko Ono in the Beatles' breakup has been the subject of much speculation. Yoko's relationship with John Lennon, as well as her presence during the band's later years, has often been blamed for creating tension and contributing to the band's eventual dissolution. However, in a recent revelation at the age of 84, Ringo Starr has broken his silence, hinting that Yoko Ono's involvement in the band's breakup may have been far more significant than previously imagined. Ringo has always been known for his simplicity, humour, and tendency to avoid public drama. However, his remarks about Yoko Ono shed new light on the internal struggles that the Beatles faced. Ringo's recent comments suggest that there may have been much more to the story of the Beatles' breakup, offering an intriguing new perspective on the band's final years. The immediate aftermath of the Beatles' breakup. When the Beatles officially disbanded in 1970, the individual members of the band were left to confront not only the end of an era, but also the immense pressure of living up to their monumental success. For Ringo, the transition was not just a personal one, but it also involved the challenge of stepping out from behind the drums and establishing himself as a solo artist. Despite the public perception that he was primarily the funny or easygoing member of the band, Ringo was a seasoned musician in his own right, with an innate rhythm and musicality that went beyond simple percussion. The first few months after the breakup were difficult, not just for Ringo, but for all four Beatles. The turmoil of their split was still fresh in the public's mind, and the music world was keenly watching to see how the individual members would fare without the band. Many wondered if Ringo, in particular, could stand on his own. After all, he was the drummer, the position that many considered the least glamorous and the one most dependent on the talent of the other band members. But Ringo's journey post-Beatles would prove that he was more than just a supporting player in a legendary band, breaking out as a solo artist. In 1971, Ringo Starr made his solo debut with the single It Don't Come Easy. Written by Ringo himself with some assistance from George Harrison, the song quickly climbed the charts, reaching number 1, 4 in the UK, and number 1 in the United States. The success of this song was a clear sign that Ringo had what it took to carve out his own space in the music industry. The track's catchy melody, coupled with Ringo's unmistakable charm and delivery, resonated with audiences. It wasn't just his drumming that people loved, it was his personality, his everyman appeal, and his down-to-earth nature. Following the success of It Don't Come Easy, Ringo was eager to build on this momentum. His debut album, Sentimental Journey, released in 1970, showed his versatility as an artist. The album was a collection of standards from the big band era, a departure from the rock and roll style that he was known for. Sentimental Journey was a deeply personal project for Ringo, as it reflected his early memories of his parents and their love of music. The album was well received for its sincerity and Ringo's ability to deliver heartfelt performances. It wasn't a massive commercial success, but it was well respected for its charm and authenticity. The album's standout track, Photograph, co-written with George Harrison, became one of Ringo's most enduring hits. The song, which reflected on the bittersweet nature of fame and love, struck a chord with audiences around the world. It reached number 1, won on the charts in the US, and solidified Ringo as a force to be reckoned with in the music world. His ability to write songs that were both personal and universal made him a beloved figure in the rock and roll community. A familiar face in television. While Ringo Starr was carving out a successful solo career in the music industry, he was also becoming a familiar face in the world of television. His warm personality and distinct voice made him a natural for television appearances, and he soon found himself in demand as both a guest and host. One of his most beloved roles was as the narrator of the children's series Thomas and Friends. His calming, friendly voice became a staple for children around the world, introducing them to the adventures of Thomas the Tank Engine and his friends. Ringo's involvement with Thomas and Friends began in 1984 when he narrated the first 2 seasons of the show. His distinctive voice was a perfect fit for the series, and his charm resonated with both children and parents alike. The show, which was based on the books by Reverend W. Awdry, became a huge hit, and Ringo's role as the narrator helped make it one of the most iconic children's programs of its time. For a new generation of fans, Ringo Starr wasn't just the drummer of the Beatles, he was the voice of Thomas the Tank Engine. In addition to his work on Thomas and Friends, Ringo also made appearances on various television shows, including Saturday Night Live, where he showcased his humour and wit. He was often invited to host shows or make guest appearances, capitalising on his charm and natural ability to entertain. Ringo's presence in the world of television allowed him to reach new audiences and expand his fan base beyond the world of rock and roll. The formation of Ringo Starr and his all-star band. As the years passed, Ringo Starr continued to stay active in the music world, but it was his decision to form Ringo Starr and his all-star band in 1989 that truly marked a new chapter in his career. The concept for the band was simple yet brilliant. Ringo would assemble a group of talented musicians from a variety of backgrounds, and each member would have their moment in the spotlight. The band would perform a mix of Ringo's solo hits, Beatles classics, and songs by his bandmates. The rotating lineup of musicians meant that the band's sound was always fresh and exciting, and it gave Ringo a chance to collaborate with a wide range of artists. The All-Star Band quickly became a fan favourite, known for their high-energy performances and collaborative spirit. Some of the musicians who joined Ringo in the All-Star Band included legendary figures like Joe Walsh, Billy Preston, and Dr. John. The band toured extensively, bringing Ringo's music to audiences around the world. The All-Star Band was a huge success and helped to solidify Ringo's reputation as not only a member of the Beatles, but also a respected and accomplished musician in his own right. One of the unique aspects of the All-Star Band was its collaborative nature. Each member was given the opportunity to showcase their own hits, which created a dynamic and ever-changing set list. The camaraderie among the band members was palpable, and Ringo's infectious energy made every performance feel like a celebration of music. The All-Star Band was not just a nostalgic trip down memory lane. It was a testament to Ringo's enduring talent and ability to bring together some of the best musicians in the world. Ringo's enduring legacy. Ringo Starr's journey as a solo artist and entertainer has been nothing short of remarkable. From his humble beginnings in Liverpool to his status as one of the most iconic drummers in the history of rock music, Ringo has proven time and again that he is more than just the fun member of the Beatles. His solo career, television appearances, and work with the All-Star Band have allowed him to remain relevant in the music industry for over 5 decades. Throughout his career, Ringo has remained true to himself. His humour, his love for life, and his dedication to his craft have made him a beloved figure in the world of entertainment. His ability to stay grounded, despite the overwhelming fame that came with being a member of the Beatles, has only endeared him further to fans around the world. Ringo Starr may have started as the drummer for the Beatles, but his journey after the band's breakup has proven that he is much more than that. He is a true musical legend. As of today, Ringo Starr continues to perform and record music, still touring with his All-Star Band, and his legacy is firmly cemented in the annals of rock and roll history. His enduring influence on music and culture, both as a member of the Beatles and as a solo artist, will continue to inspire generations to come. Ringo Starr is not just a former Beatle, he is a beloved icon, an artist in his own right, and a true ambassador of peace and love. Personal life, a journey through love and loss. Ringo Starr's personal life is as fascinating as his musical career. While much of his life was spent in the limelight, his relationships and personal struggles offer a deeper look into the man behind the iconic drum kit. His first significant relationship was with Maureen Cox, a hairdresser he met in 1962, the same year he joined the Beatles. Their romance was swift, and by 1965 they had married, with the Beatles' manager Brian Epstein serving as the best man at the ceremony. The wedding was a high-profile event, and it even inspired a novelty song, Treat Him Tender Maureen, by the Chiclets, reflecting the public's fascination with the young couple. Together, Ringo and Maureen had 3 children: Zach, born in 1965, Jason in 1967, and Lee in 1970. As the Beatles' fame exploded, Ringo and Maureen's life became increasingly difficult to navigate in the public eye. In 1971, Ringo purchased Tittenhurst Park, the sprawling estate formerly owned by John Lennon, and moved his family there. The mansion became a retreat for the Starr family, but their marriage faced many challenges. Repeated infidelities, combined with the pressures of Ringo's demanding career, led to their divorce in 1975. Tragically, Maureen passed away in 1994 from leukemia at the young age of 48. Her death was a profound loss for Ringo, who had remained close to her even after their separation. The passing of Maureen, coupled with the emotional weight of the Beatles' breakup, was a deeply personal chapter in Ringo's life that would continue to shape his perspective on relationships, fame, and family. In 1980, fate introduced Ringo to actress Barbara Bach while they were filming the comedy Caveman. Their relationship quickly blossomed, and the two were married in a small ceremony at Marylebone Town Hall in April 1981. Barbara and Ringo built a life together that balanced the glitz of fame with a desire for privacy. They spent their time between homes in Crawley, Surrey, Los Angeles, and Monte Carlo, leading a relatively low-key lifestyle despite their celebrity status. In 1985, Ringo became the first member of the Beatles to become a grandfather when Zach's daughter, Ty Jane Starkey, was born. Zach, like his father, pursued a career in drumming and became a talented musician in his own right, playing with notable bands such as The Who. Zach even joined his father on stage during Ringo Starr and his all-star band tours, carrying on the musical legacy of the Starkey family. As of today, Ringo boasts a growing legacy of grandchildren, and in 2016 he became a great-grandfather, marking a new milestone in his family's history. A health-conscious life and views on current events. Despite his rock and roll persona, Ringo has always taken a health-conscious approach to his lifestyle. As a vegetarian for many years, he has advocated for healthier eating habits and sustainability. Ringo is also known to avoid garlic and onions due to allergies, as confirmed by Mary McCartney. His commitment to well-being goes beyond diet. Ringo practices daily meditation, a discipline he believes helps him stay centered and at peace amidst the chaos of fame. He has famously adopted the motto "Peace and Love," which reflects his approach to life, both personally and professionally. Ringo's views on current events have also made headlines. In 2016, he publicly voiced his support for the United Kingdom's decision to leave the European Union, calling Brexit a great idea, although he later expressed frustration over the slow progress of the process. In 2021, Ringo's name appeared in the Pandora Papers, a global investigation that uncovered the secret financial dealings of celebrities and politicians who used tax havens to shield their wealth. While Ringo's involvement in the affair was minimal, his inclusion highlighted the ongoing public interest in his personal affairs. A legacy of peace, love, and resilience. Ringo Starr's life and career have been marked by extraordinary success, personal growth, and the enduring legacy of the Beatles. From his groundbreaking drumming style to his reflective views on the band's disintegration, Ringo's journey is one of resilience, humility, and transformation. His recent confessions about the Beatles' breakup offer a glimpse into the complexities of life within the world's most famous band. As we continue to learn more about the personal side of Ringo's story, it becomes clear that his legacy is not just defined by his musical achievements, but by the strength of character and kindness he's demonstrated throughout his life. The full picture of the Beatles' breakup may still be incomplete, but Ringo's voice adds an invaluable layer to our understanding of what really happened behind the scenes. His candidness and humility leave us with the enduring question: will the other Beatles step forward to share their own stories, or is Ringo's account the final word on the Beatles' turbulent end?